Hello again, and welcome back to Wingot Plays Satisfactory. Between episodes, I have built a nice, I was going to say big platform, but this probably will not actually be enough space. And I've given 12 biomass boilers along the back there, biomass burners, only 2 of which are actually receiving power. And the only thing I have actually brought over is our solid biofuel production. So I shouldn't have jumped, I should have just slid. If we pop in here, we've got a whole lot of leaves and a whole lot of wood being converted into biomass and then solid biofuel. But each of these can produce 60 solid biofuel per minute, and this line can only hold 60. So with this merger, it actually can't keep up with both of these at full output. But also, both of these take 120 input per minute. So the conveyor Mark 1s that we've got in the front here are not enough to feed these. And while the leaves want to be fed at 120 per minute, so we need to change that conveyor over there, it only produces 60 biomass per minute. So that's fine. But the wood biomass recipe produces 300 biomass per minute. So what we really want is we really want to be able to upgrade some of these conveyors to the Mark II conveyors, which can move 120 per minute. Additionally, it would be nice if we could stack conveyors on top of each other so that they basically just look aesthetically quite a bit nicer when we're bringing in lots of lines into the system. I have made this single row almost like road, but for the conveyor lines to use to get from over here in our old base to down there. And we could run individual lines sort of all over the place here, but what would be nicer would be if we had the conveyor stacks. Now, conveniently, both the Mark IIs and the stackable conveyor poles are right here in Logistics Mark II. And it looks like we've pretty much got everything we're going to need to be able to do that recipe. I'm just going to need a few more reinforced iron plates, which means I'm going to need some more screws. Nice and easy. And I hadn't even prepped that. I hadn't looked at what the requirements were. It's just those are the sorts of things I run around with in my inventory in general. I tend to run around with at least one stack of all of the components that I've unlocked up to a certain stage. And so, yeah, I just happened to have those sorts of things lying around in my inventory. Now we're over 50, so let's throw those into there and we can launch. Perfect. We are also going to need more reinforced iron plates because those are what you make the Mark II conveyor belts out of. And even this 14 that we're going to have is not going to be anywhere near enough. We have not yet unlocked the assembler, and the constructor can only do things that has a single part as an input. So for the time being, we have to manually keep crafting these reinforced iron plates. Let me go grab some iron plates so that we can create a bit more. And we've got reasonable supplies of most things built up except for concrete. That is the total concrete we have available that is not, well, that hasn't already been used. But in the meantime, let me quickly make some reinforced iron plates. The other thing with Mark II conveyor belts, each of those miners that we have there they're just Mark I miners, but given that they're on pure nodes, they produce 120 of each of the ores per minute. And so with a Mark I conveyor belt, we're only actually moving half of what the miners are producing. Whereas with a Mark II conveyor belt, we'll be able to double the throughput of the ore coming in, which halves the number of ore nodes and lines we are going to need. That seems like it's... Let's go to 50, which won't be enough to run a line all the way from our miners here to that base, but it will allow us to do all the stuff within the base with 0 difficulty. We also, getting assemblers up and running would mean we could automatically craft the reinforced iron plate. So that would be nice, and probably is the next thing we wanted to work on. We don't quite need the resource sink yet. Basically, until we've got everything automated, we don't need the jump pads for our current designs. So part assembly, I think, is probably going to be the next milestone we work on. And while I think we probably could finish that right now, well, we can't because the pod's 3.5 minutes away. But in the meantime, let's go have a look. How am I doing for iron plates? That's screws are fine. Iron plates, perfect. I think I could probably grab some more rods. And then I think I've probably got enough of everything to actually get started on setting up some builds over here. And effectively what we're going to be doing is we're going to be telling all of this stuff to get lost, because we'll be replacing it over in the other side. Perfect. And line up with a whole stack of iron ore in my inventory, but that will be fine because I will be building smelters over here that will then be able to use that iron ore even before we bring in the conveyors. But to start with, let us I love the slide jump in Satisfactory. I think I use it far too much though, but it does move faster than just running, as far as I can tell. I was doing it when a friend was just running along and I was making substantial distance on them. So anyway, the first thing we want smelters here, because that is going to take in iron ore, and we can put this away while we're at it. And then we need constructors, and if we make 2 of these, then that will be able to, they can both make iron plates, and that will give us 60 ingots used per minute to make 40 iron plates, most of a Mark I line. That's not going to work because I first need to put a merger in here. There. Good. And then that can go straight down there. That can go there. And this can go there. Perfect. Now let's extend these power lines across. I don't know whether this will be enough to blow that fuse. What is it? It makes 60 megawatts there. That'll be plenty. And done. Good. So that's connected. That's connected. Oh, looks like those 2 have run out. But I have been producing a whole lot of solid biofuel in here. So let's tidy my inventory up a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 12, so this will allow us to make 100 in each. That looks like 1's enough to run everything we've got going here. And by spreading out the fuel requirements across all of these, the capacity will go up to 600. 360. We've got 360 capacity, but we're only using 32. And so the usage of the fuel goes down quite substantially because the usage does actually scale with demand. It doesn't use it when it would just waste it, at least with the biofuel materials. The other energy sources do basically just generate power, but biomass only does it on demand. So by spreading them out, we have to go back and refill them a lot less often. And in the meantime, we've already got iron plates coming in here. Very nice. Now let me go see what we can do about emptying the rest of this. Good, and done. Why do I have a whole lot of iron ingots though? They can go there as well. Cool. Now the next step will be to make, we're going to need iron rods, and in fact, let me just quickly, we want a splitter. Where are we? There. In the middle. Yep, good. So we want a splitter feeding there and here. Good. And then that can come in here. So that there will be 60. So that'll be half of a Mark II line. And we're going to be making, oh, speaking of Mark II lines, let's go swap out these lines. So this one here needs to become Mark II so that the leaves can keep up. But then it only outputs 60. So a Mark I's fine here. This one outputs 300. So it needs to be a Mark II, as does this input, that input, and this one might be best to leave as a 1 because that's producing 60, and if we only send 60 across here, then the two together will make one line and it'll never clog up this machine. And that machine's going to be clogged up no matter what because the fastest we can output is 120. And then lastly, we just need to replace this so that both of these can output at the same time into our storage container. Perfect. Now that that's done, let's go back to this. We need output there. Good. You are going to be making iron rods. It takes 15 to make 15. Let's make a second there. Good. Give me a merger. Outputting there. Good. Oops. I need to make a storage crate to put them into. Boom. And that outputs to there. Good. Now, the inputs of these only take 15 as well. And so, let's hook up the power. There you go. Good, they've both got power. So we need a splitter here because we're going to input, that's that middle. We're going to input one line and get out 15 on each side. Perfect, so that will produce 30 iron rods per minute, which is only half of a stack, but iron rods are used less than iron plates. And that's one there. And we may as well do that. And you, power there, good. So, iron rods being produced. Perfect. Now, the last thing we need is screws being produced. Now, this is something that could be quite useful to hold off on. Because if I get an alternate recipe, that'll be a lot nicer No, we'll do it. We'll just do the generic recipe for now, and I can look to change it later on. So step one is we can go here. Is that in the middle? That's in the middle. There we go. We need constructor. Now, show me this. You to make am I screwing this up? What's show me the recipe for screws. So 10 per minute to make 4 screws. Yes, I am screwing this up. That needs to not be there. And then we can have 3 coming off of here. 1, 2, 3. And we might as well move you to, why is that not on? That 3. And we'll put a splitter right here in the middle. Splitter there. I don't know that that input was correct. I think it was. There. And a merger right in the middle. Where are you? There. Good. So that should be able to connect to there, to there. Good. This is all looking promising. Okay, now these guys all make screws, and they use 10 iron rods per minute. These guys make 15 iron rods per minute. So between the 2 of them, we're making 30 iron rods per minute, and each of those is using 10, so the 3 of those then use the 30. And if we go here quickly, we can throw a splitter. In fact, where's there? That looks like the middle. Good. We can, if we throw a splitter there, we can run both of these machines off of 60 as well, because each of them uses 30. 30, 30, and they've got 30 demand on the other side. Perfect. So we just need to connect this to there. And done. Good. And then we just need an output chest for these screws, which may as well be in line here. That was wrong. Oh, it needs to line up here. Cool. And we need a merger. Whoops. Merger, which can go there. You output to there. And then these. I'll go back far enough. So what if we do this? It should be able to go back far enough. I don't think I've misaligned anything. Yeah, whatever. This will work. Oh, what do you know? I have misaligned the constructor there. These look correct. Yeah, those are. Okay. Well, easy fix. Let's deconstruct that. Deconstruct these. And those are good. Now, constructor gets to go. Why is that not? Okay, show me. There. Good. Now, boom, boom. That. Oh, apparently I deleted the power poles as well. 1, 2, yeah, there you go. That's better. I don't think that's right. Oh, actually, the merger never moved, so that was right. So let's pop back over there. Oh, where's that power line? There. You middle here, and then there, and there. Did that work? Here we go. And there, good. So all of these are producing screws. Good. And then that should work as soon as we plug in the iron line. Speaking of the iron line, we need to input there. Good. So one iron line there. The other iron line goes all the way over to here. Good. So those are both Mark 1 belts. And then the back line here is going to need to be a Mark 2. And it's, yeah, very quickly running out of those reinforced sheets. But we can fix that up later. For now, let's build another craft bench actually. How about we put... Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put a craft bench in the back here. Good, because that will allow us to make reinforced iron plates with screws and iron. So iron plates, and this is rods, and then this is screws here. Okay. But what we need to do is we need to bring in the iron so that this can all start running. So for now, the easiest option will be to just run iron on the ground. Let's go to there. Okay, where's the middle? There's the middle? Yes. Okay, let's see. Take you to there. I wonder if that will go up to there. Or is that too steep? Like it's 45-degree manageable. Oh, that can't afford. Okay. Also misaligned there. Perfect. Now we're going to need some more iron plates. So let's go grab those. What else do we need? Just iron plates. And we've got cement. We've got iron rods. Perfect. Because yes, the easiest solution will be to just get a half capacity line coming in to start with, and then we can replace it with a Mark II later on. That's the middle. I do feel like when you're on the ground, like down there, you should be able to place it on top instead of just on the side there. When I say on top, I just mean on the edge. Like I don't want to be able to put it further, but like I'd really like to actually be able to put it on top of that. Meanwhile, I think I'm going to try going up this way. There we go. Just because this particular block is not possible to get on top of from the ground there. Good. And then we just need to figure out where the distance limit is, which is, oh. Okay, so you can go to there. Fine. That's where we will go to. Boom, that's right in the middle, and then you go to there and just feed it from there. Perfect. And then this is producing 120 per minute, as I was saying before, but only half of that will be able to output because we've only got a Mark 1 here. But if we go grab all of that iron, we can actually remove this now. We can remove that, which will get us a whole lot of screws in our inventory. May as well get rid of that and pick up the rods. Probably didn't need to pick up that. Yeah, I went up with a whole lot of iron ore. Good. Now, let's build some more reinforced iron plates so that we can actually upgrade that conveyor belt to Mark II and get all of the iron stuff being produced there off of that single miner. And then we still have iron Mark 1 miners on the other 3 iron pure nodes to allow us to do plenty of other iron work, whether that's steel or the reinforced iron plates or rotors or whatever. What are we up to? 50. It's not going to be anywhere near enough. I think we're just going to have to wait this one out, unfortunately. And then, so we've got all of the basic iron components being made. We now need to bring copper into the system, and we need to bring limestone in so that we can get cement being produced, and preferably at a faster rate than the current system is doing, which would be very nice. It's going to take quite some time to make enough reinforced iron plate to replace that whole line, so maybe I will actually do that just between episodes, because in the meantime we can still do plenty of other work. Yeah, that's going to take 6 just to do that bit, another 12 there. Yeah, that's going to burn through our reinforced stocks very quickly. There you go, down to 20. So we'll have to come back to that. But let's go have a look. So once we get copper inbound and limestone inbound, also I assume that there's more than one limestone node around. There's one up there. There's the one we're already using. There's one there at 386. Good. So there's a few around. And that one there at least is a pure node. So it produces enough for 2 of the... Ooh, that is definitely interesting. It should look better once we get the conveyor belts going. Oh, sorry, the conveyor... What are they called? Whatever, not the elevators. Now, if we go here, we can import copper. And copper will allow us to make wires, which uses half, and we probably don't need multiple of this just because it will build up fairly quickly anyway. But then we can use the other half of the copper that's being produced to make cables. And that turns 60. This only makes 30 into 30 cables. Okay. So then what if, let's change this then. U1, 2, I need cables. I do have some wires, okay. In fact, craft bench, here. It's quicker to just make another one at the moment. You, give me some cables. Good. Decon that, give me one more of these there, and both of these are also going to be making wires, and then we just need here. Nope, that was wrong, it moved. Boom, and wow, it's getting really annoying. those. Good. Now we don't need, oh, okay, that's a mistake. We need a merger right here. Outputting to there. Input there, and there, and let's grab that power pole over to here and connect. Good. Now is that set? No, it's not screws. It's cables. Perfect. And then that'll make 30 cables per minute. And then over here we will put the wires. Boom. And wires is also going to need a merger. Good. Now these should both be making wires. These should both be making wires. Good. And then we just need one more smelter to feed those two new ones that I've made. Good. Now we need power for everything. Good. And we need a couple of splitters. One input there, one input there. That failed. And done. Now all of that should be ready to work. We just need to bring in the actual copper line. Good. So this here just wants copper, which can probably make nicest by doing this. And then we can put I'm just going to remove this temporarily, because what we want is we want to put in line here we need more cables. Okay, we want that output towards there. But oh, I see why that doesn't line up. Thing is, we don't want an actual splitter, but what we do want is we want this to connect properly, and perfect. Now this can continue on to there, and let's go resupply this with iron. Good. So this is our copper line, and then finally we're just going to need concrete lines and a bit of space on the edge. Good. So concrete is just going to need constructors and a storage crate and a merger. that's going to need to be a Mark 2. No, it's not, because it's only making 15 each. So that can be a Mark 1. Perfect. And then those are both making concrete. And all we need to do now is plug in a splitter. Let's put it here, just so it keeps in line with everything else. There. Actually, let's not do a splitter. Let's make both of those independent lines. Oh, well, we'll pull in a pure line. Yeah, okay, fine. It'll be a splitter. What is that? There. Good. That. Oh, let's see what happened. No. Okay. You get to go to there. You can get rid of these because this can come over to here and straight down. Perfect. And then that just needs a Mark II input line, which can be there. Perfect. Now this guy up here only needs a Mark I input. Good. Yep, that'll do a decent job of marking that off. And then this over here. Oops. I don't want to do that. Let's put that iron away. This here can replace with a Mark II, just to make it obvious that that is meant to be. Actually, it's not. That's meant to be Mark I. This is meant to be Mark II. Okay. But thank you for watching. I think between episodes I will work on making a whole lot of Mark II, replace this backline, connect up the copper here, replace the, make a backline for the limestone, and also look to get stackable conveyor poles in place so that we can run everything much more neatly. But now I think we don't actually even need a third, because we've got iron on the ground, copper will be coming in there, and then limestone will be coming in the very top there. And then we can easily connect up the limestone. Oops, that's wrong. Q3. Is that a straight line? No, that's not a straight line. That is a straight line. Yes. Perfect. And then we just need to bring the limestone in, and if we put this here, then 1, it looks like it's supporting that, and 2, our limestone can go there, and then it'll look ugly, but we can just go like that. I'll see what I can do about fixing that so it looks better. But I'll do all of that behind the scenes, off camera. We've at least got our production builds built, and now it's just a matter of plugging in the raw resources. Thank you for watching. Stay happy and healthy, and I hope to see you in the next one.